Hey guys, welcome back to DevSpot. This week is going to be really short. Just want to quickly get another video to continue our Question Your Game series. This game we're going to be focusing on why, more as why am I here, why am I doing this? Before we get into that, remember there's a Discord you guys can join. You can come hang out with us, chill around, talk about some stuff, make some games together. You can also maybe think about subscribing throughout this video and hitting that like button. But now, let's get on. So the question this week we're talking about is why am I here, why me? And the reason I'm focusing on this and why I think it's as important is I want to tell a little bit of a story. So playing D&D on an adventure, there's a party of maybe 3 level 2 characters. Really not powerful yet, not even capable of taking on more than 3 or 4 low level enemies at one time. And we come across this village, right? Small village out in the middle of nowhere. It does have one major player in it that kind of serves as the town's guardian. Now this is a high-level paladin that is more or less in retirement, but not exactly. He still rules and protects over this little village. Now, when we get there, we go and talk to him. And when we start talking to him, we realize that something's going on in this town, and he wants us to solve it. And so, after digging for some more information, we find out that there is a nest of kobolds that we're supposed to be dealing with. So, the first question most of us come to is, wait a second, there's just a bunch of moderate level kobolds. We're not capable of really dealing with that easily, but this high level paladin could smite them in 5 seconds and just be done with the whole problem. Why does he need us? Why is he hiring us when he can solve it himself in an afternoon? That really broke the realism or the immersion in the game, and this was actually something that persisted throughout the game, in watching YouTube videos on being a DM that I see all the time. And in games, sometimes this comes true. Why am I the one that needs to solve it? That doesn't make any sense. Anybody here could solve it. Why is it me? Or even there's more people qualified to solve it. So the question that this is supposed to prompt is not necessarily a why question, but what makes the player so qualified to deal with the problem, and why are they more qualified than anybody else in the area to deal with it? This might be as simple as they're the only one that's there. Might be the only person in existence in this region, so they have to solve it because it's their problem. And that might be it. It might just be their problem and nobody else can solve it. So sometimes open world exploration games get to handle this. Something that some games do, for example, like say, let's take Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5, the main character is in a helicopter, and it really isn't the main one that's supposed to be dealing with this, but when he gets there, he ends up being in a position where only he can solve it. So that kind of makes a little bit of sense. I don't think it's a great way to do it, but it's one way to do it. They might be the person that's just stuck with the problem, and if they chose not to deal with it, then there would be no game, so obviously they chose to deal with it. One way you can get around this trope of there being more capable people of dealing with it is A, not having more capable people around to deal with it, or B, have them limited in some way, or otherwise occupied. Have a bigger problem that they need to go solve, or have multiple problems that they're going to handle while the player character only needs to handle this one. That's kind of a cheap way around it, but it's something that'll help the player not have to break immersion to understand what's going on. Some players might not ask these questions, but myself, I find myself asking, why do I need to do this? This is super tedious. Anybody else could do this. Why am I doing this instead of adventuring? Explain how what they're doing fits in with the larger plot. That's another way to do it. And I highly recommend you guys look up some D&D videos and listen to some of the adventures and how different plot points play together and how the characters are described as being forced into it. It might be a moral cause is another way of doing it. Maybe the character's background says that they believe in righteousness and justice, and so now that they've seen an injustice, they must deal justice out to anyone who's willing to receive it. I don't know. I don't exactly have a great example for that, but that's the one I went with, so deal with it. Alright, I hope that gives you enough information to actually answer these questions and to know what questions to ask yourself before coming up with the basic intro to your story and what the main character's role is going to be with it. So if you guys have any questions, drop them down below. If you guys are new here, again, remember, think about joining the Discord. There's plenty of developers over there that'll help you question your game or help you develop a brand new game if you've never done it. And if you've never developed a game, this is a great time because the Hobo Jam is starting tomorrow and runs throughout the entire month. So that's plenty of time to learn how to make a simple game. If you have questions about that, stop by the Discord or drop your questions down in the comments below. But until next time, guys, please take care of yourself because I will see you later.